We are taking a live look over Gaza. This morning, Israel's president vowed a complete siege of the Strip. At least 700 people are dead in Israel. Another 500 are dead in Gaza. And more than 130 people, including children, have been taken hostage by Hamas fighters. Thanks for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. This afternoon, authorities confirm at least 9 Americans have been killed in the fighting over the last 3 days. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest on the war.
As the full scope of the deadliest attack on Israel in decades comes into focus.
This is an attack that I don't think anyone saw coming.
The State Department confirming that at least 9 Americans have been killed, with more U.S. citizens still missing. Lawmakers briefed on the rapidly developing situation. Americans who managed to make it out of Israel describing scenes of horror.
There were rockets above us all day.
Israeli officials say at least 700 people have been killed in what they're describing as their nation's 9/11. Israeli airstrikes now hammering the Gaza Strip after the ruling Hamas militant group in Gaza attacked Israel on multiple fronts Saturday morning, raining rockets into Israel, while Hamas fighters infiltrated, in some cases by paraglider, as this video shows. A music festival in the Israeli desert, one of their first targets. 260 people were killed here, many more taken hostage. As the hostage crisis unfolds across the country, this Israeli father desperate to find his kidnapped wife and 2 young daughters.
They are babies, and my wife, they are my only family.
The Defense Department announcing the U.S. is sending military assets closer to Israel to deter any further attacks, while U.S. officials are not ruling out using the assets to help one of America's closest allies in its fight against Hamas. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Right now, American synagogues and mosques are on high alert. Some cities are ramping up police presence around them as the fighting continues. 5 on Your Side's Diamond Palmer spoke with Islamic and Jewish advocacy groups in the St. Louis region about their efforts to send aid abroad.
Sunday, Israel officially declared war against the Palestinian military group Hamas. It comes after Hamas carried out surprise attacks in the Gaza Strip into southern Israel. Edward Ahmad Mitchell serves as the Council on American Islamic Relations National Deputy Director.
So the solution to this crisis is clear. In the occupation, a Palestinian state based on their original borders with East Jerusalem as their capital. That is what the Palestinian people have been asking for decades.
He says millions of Palestinians packed into the Gaza Strip have grown frustrated under Israeli rule.
So they're trapped with nowhere to go.
Israeli Defense Forces launched a counterattack striking military targets in the Strip in a bombing campaign.
So I'd encourage all Americans to call their member of Congress and say, look, I don't want my money going overseas to fund injustice. I want you to step in and say it's time for peace.
Brian Herstig is the president and CEO of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis. He says the attacks follow a painful history of Jewish people being kicked out of every country they've lived in.
There's an emotional connection that people have. And so we have many people from this community who have moved to Israel permanently, whose children are now serving in the military, who are being called up, who are fighting right now in this very war.
The Federation has worked with partners in Israel to continue bulletproofing schools, homes, and offices. Herstig calls the nature of the war unprecedented.
This is on a different scale. Never before have they breached Israeli borders, done hand-to-hand combat in the street with civilians.
The bloodshed quickly claimed hundreds of lives on both sides in densely populated territory.
It's too small of a country. Every single person has to help defend it.
Diamond Palmer, 5 on Your Side.
Now, the Jewish Federations of North America, including the one here in St. Louis, say they're responding and working with victims to rebuild infrastructure and address trauma as the conflict continues. Missouri's representatives voicing their concern for the region, but prescribing very different pathways to peace. In a statement, Democratic Congresswoman Cori Bush said, quote, "We must do our part to stop this violence and trauma by ending U.S. government support for Israeli military occupation and apartheid." While Republican Ann Wagner says, quote, Israel has the absolute right to defend itself, and we stand with them unequivocally as they defend themselves against this unprovoked act of war. 5 on Your Side will continue to bring you updates on this war on air, online at ksdk.com, and on the 5 on Your Side app. It is free to download in your phone's app store.
12:05, your weather first forecast. Quiet so far. This morning we start off cool. There's no doubt about that. Another cool morning, and we had some frost locally. But those plants, those sensitive plants, will get a little bit of a break as we head into the next few days. We do have full sunshine other than a few clouds well off to our southeast. So that means over the next few days, we're going to stay relatively clear. The big picture shows that temps haven't warmed up all that much. We're in the low 60s area wide. I don't think we're going to get that much warmer than we are right now, but it's something to look out for over the next few hours. Overall, the rest of the afternoon and evening temperatures headed for the mid 60s. Not going to warm up that much, but the rest of the week we are going to warm back up. So I don't think that you can put those shorts away just yet and get rid of those extra layers. We will see a few rain chances, which is a positive thing, but we'll quickly return to fall, and that's going to be a talking point as we head into next week. But it's all part of a system that's going to impact us in every single way. We'll show you the timeline for that and also our best chance for rain in the next few days.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Gary. Florissant could soon be adding a neighborhood. Hours from now, the City Council is set to vote on a measure to turn part of Koch Park into a new subdivision. 5 on Your Side's Alex Fees tells us about the trade-off from City Hall.
I met last week with the Economic Development Director, Patrick Mulcahy, and the mayor here, Timothy Lowry. Mayor Lowry tells me that research shows that Florissant is a growing community and also attracting young families. That same research shows him that the type of housing in this development, he calls it step-up housing, is exactly what people are searching for. Now, this development would add to both the tax base and the green space.
So right now we're standing at the Nature Lodge at Sunset Park. So behind us is Sunset Park and obviously a beautiful look at the Missouri River.
This McBride development involves what is essentially a land swap, which would allow a residential development on a rear undeveloped portion of Koch Park, and in return the addition of new parkland adjacent to Sunset Park. The net result is 108 new single-family homes and 12 additional acres of green space. The homes would range in size from 1,200 to 2,500 square feet, priced anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000. Now the measure is up for the second and final reading tonight before the City Council.
We went through our comprehensive plan a couple years ago. That's one thing they continue to mention, that we just don't have that type of step-up home. And so most of our homes were built prior to the 70s. And so this is going to give our families a new option.
Lowry says that measure has gone through the Planning and Zoning Commission and a public hearing at the most recent City Council meeting. Reporting in Florissant, Alex Fees, 5 on Your Side.
Right now, 4,000 additional United Auto Workers are on strike. The union approved expanding the strike late last night after rejecting a deal with Mack Truck. With these workers joining the picket lines, there are now 30,000 members on strike against General Motors, Ford, Stellantis, and Mack Truck. The strikers are demanding higher wages, expanded health care, and pension benefits. Anytime between now and Wednesday, Walgreens pharmacy employees are expected to walk off the job at up to 500 locations. Unlike the UAW strike, there's no union leader to coordinate the movement, so we don't know when or where they will walk out. We do know why. Pharmacy staff say they are working in unsafe environments without proper training or enough staff to meet demands for prescriptions. We will update you if a pharmacy in our area is affected. For those who rely on public transportation, we have some good news for you. Metro Coloride services are back. And in just a little over an hour, faith leaders and law enforcement come together in East St. Louis. Their goal? To build and foster relationships with the community.